Hi, and welcome to this tutorial where we will be going over the gradient, paint bucket, eyedropper, and ruler tool on the toolbar in your image editing program. So let's start off with the gradient tool. Over here on our right hand side we have our layers palette. So I'm going to go ahead and click on our background layer, and then over on the left hand side I'm going to go over to our gradient tool. And this is a type of fill that you can make. A paint bucket tool is going to give you a solid color fill, but gradient tool is going to give you a faded fill. When I click on gradient tool, I can click G on the keyboard to get there. I can adjust my gradient at the top. I can pick from a selection of gradients here, and I can pick some different options for my gradients, like making them radial, like in a circle. I can make them in a line, angle, reflected, diamond, etc. Change how see-through they are. So I'm going to go ahead and make a new layer over in my layers palette by clicking the new layer button at the bottom right. Looks like a piece of paper with a little corner tabbed up. And I'm going to make a radial gradient by clicking and drawing a line that's going to show the program where I want the fade to be. And I'm going to let go, and it will do the gradient fade of the one that I have selected. It will do the foreground to the background color. So if I wanted to change the colors, I could change my foreground color here by clicking on it, and then I could change my background color here by clicking on it. And now you can see I have a new colored gradient that I could draw and have a new gradient. Likewise, I'm just going to click back in my history to the new layer. I could just use my paint bucket tool to drop a new color right down onto the layer, and because there's no edges on this layer, it just fills in the entire thing. But if I had some different shapes, as demonstrated in previous videos, I could fill in those shapes with the paint bucket tool as well. The eyedropper tool allows you to select a color that you already have on your canvas. This is the eyedropper, and it will sample that color and set it as your foreground color. So I had the eyedropper tool clicked, and I clicked on this pink background, and it immediately took the pink color and set it as my foreground color. So now I could use that, say, in my gradient tool. I could go click into the gradient, and now it's part of the pink and blue blend here, and I could draw that, turn on that layer so you can see it, and you can see that I can draw in different types of gradients. This is a linear gradient with that color, with the eyedropper tool. All right, and then my ruler tool that is located with the eyedropper tool allows me to use lines to measure things on my document. So sometimes it can be hard to see, like, and get a feel for how big things are in relation to other things. So I'm going to zoom in by hitting Control plus on my keyboard, and then I can use my ruler tool to draw a line on something I want to measure, and then up here I can see the angle, length, and how long that is. So that just helps me measure how wide things are, how tall they are, gives me dimensions, how tall is this logo from here to here, etc.